Hey guys, welcome to my first YouTube video. I just started my channel, and going forth from here, what I want to do is every Sunday be able to sit down and go over the charts before the market opens and give you my kind of like a weekly analysis of what I think the markets are going to do, and also kind of give you like targets and a bias for the week, whether we're bullish or we're bearish. So let's jump on to TradingView and get into the charts. And like I said, this is my first video, so don't mind me if I stumble a little bit. It's kind of funny how like no one's like really watching me or like listening to me while I'm making this video, but like your nerves are kind of like a little bit like uneased because you know it's gonna go on the internet. So just bear with me. Alright, so usually I have two screens open. I do pay for TradingView, so I have this subscription where I can open up multiple charts. But I use an external screen from my actual MacBook, and I actually like the charts to be kind of big. I don't know, that's just me. I know people can probably just work off their laptop screen, but I like to have like a lot of real estate when I look at my charts. I don't know, it's something I prefer. So if we look here, like I said, I usually have two charts open, so I usually have like a chart kind of like this. Let's see if I can show you. I'll probably pull it up like that too. So usually I have a chart like this, and then I have another screen open on this side, and it's usually I keep DXY up, and then either I look at Euro or I look at GBP, USD. But for now, we'll just go over one at a time. So as we all know, markets have been kind of volatile because of what's going on with the Ukraine and Russia. So markets are kind of scary right now because you can see where investors, institutions are taking their money out and where they're putting their money at. Usually in times of crisis, gold, the dollar index are considered safe havens. So technically, in almost kind of like with fundamentals, you'll start seeing these markets rally, and gold and DXY have been rallying together. If you listen to ICT, he talks about this in a couple of one of his videos, but usually DXY and gold are inversely correlated, so if one goes up, one's going down. But obviously last week, both of them actually rallied pretty hard, and then they came off their highs. So for this, I'm gonna start with the monthly chart. It just makes a little bit more sense just to start here for now. A lot of people probably don't go out to their monthly chart. I really don't go out to my monthly chart too often. Usually I keep it to like obviously a weekly chart to see like what my weekly bias is, if we're going to be bullish or bearish. And also mostly my daily. So monthly is kind of like maybe like every quarterly, probably quarterly. I would say I probably come to my monthly chart and just look at where we're at. So let me just kind of back off right here. This is kind of like where we're at with the dollar index. But if we zoom in, obviously, first thing to point out is if you are on YouTube now and you're watching ICT's 2022 mentorship on YouTube, the last couple of videos he's been talking about market structure. I'm pretty sure you already know about institutional order flow. If you don't know what that means, obviously it's the trend. So if you look, kind of just going off of what his video last stated, is if you're bullish, down close candles should be supporting price. So on the monthly, so you can see that down close candles here supporting price up, down close candles obviously didn't touch this one, but you have a fair value gap here, right? And then you have down close candles here. So since we are in a monthly time frame, obviously it does take precedent over lower time frames, but as you can see, down close candles have been supporting price. So on the monthly, we are bullish on the monthly. All right. And then another thing to point out is actually here. This is what we reached it to last week. If I can get it, let me make it a little bigger. I do that all the time. Hold up. There we go. Hit my shift key when I'm trying to like load these boxes. But anyways, fair value gap. Bam. And to kind of see, let's see. I don't think we hit consequent encroachment of this. No, kind of short. But this is what we're reaching up to. So we kind of already hit an objective for the upside. So I wasn't trading last week. Obviously, markets are very volatile. I was kind of just sitting, waiting back. I did believe weeks ago that Russia would possibly invade Ukraine. If you understand the charts and like how ICT teaches it, the charts tell you a story, right? And a lot of times there's signatures in price, and I'll go into it, where you can tell that a market is likely to go higher or likely to go lower, depending on pretty much what the story of the chart is telling you. So, like I said, we're on the monthly. I really don't come here too often, but this was an upside objective, and we did reach it. We are in bullish order flow. Like I said, down close candles are supporting price. So we are going higher. I have all this random stuff on here. So monthly, I think we're going higher. From here, it looks like we just hit a upside objective and retrace a little bit. I do think we are going to go higher. I do think, if anything, we'll fill in this entire fair value gap here. So this is from a monthly perspective. Let's go down to a weekly. All right, so here. So this is last week's candle. It's kind of iffy. If you look, we're in a consolidation almost, right? Let me just skip this a little bit. So we're consolidating in here. So not from a weekly standpoint, doesn't really look like we're doing a lot. But like I said, from a monthly, we are pushing higher. And if you look, obviously we're pushing higher too on a weekly. We might see more consolidation. We'll go into forexfactory.com after this, and we'll look at the fundamentals for the week. But if we look here, there's obviously, so this right here is the monthly fair value gap. If you redefine it a little bit, this is the weekly fair value gap. So not too much of a difference. And if we look here, we probably hit consequent encroachment of this fair value gap. Yeah, we did. Just to show you. So, line up a little better. But you can see, 50% consequent encroachment. We hit that and we came off. But to me, like I said, I mean, from a weekly standpoint, we're moving higher. It's just crazy times right now. Like I said, I mean, everyone thought that the stock indexes were going to go lower. They obviously went higher, which was very confusing to a lot of traders. I watch a lot of live streams on YouTube. I really don't trade stocks or the indexes, but I watch traders on YouTube who have live streams, and they were predicting, they couldn't believe that everything was just moving higher. So it was just kind of like almost a confusion in the market. And if you listen to ICT, this is a very volatile time, so you kind of have to be careful. But as we saw here, we did break higher. and I kind of just want to go into why I thought we were going higher before this move even happened. And I know a lot of you guys probably have been taught this already, so let me get rid of this right here. Kind of just clean up the charts. Alright, so if we look, I like to separate my days and weeks off. So this was Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So this was the start of last week here. So as you can see, the week opened, right? I'll go down to a lower time frame so you can see it too. The week opened, came down into this fair value gap here. So I had this marked out on my charts. I just cleared everything before the video. So we had this fair value gap here. We came down, we were kind of accumulating in here. Open, came down, and then we kind of consolidated for Tuesday and Wednesday, and Thursday was the big push. I was actually awake. I think it happened around like 11:30. Market Watch popped up on my phone, and they had talked about how Russia just invaded Ukraine. And then once I got that notification on my phone, I went into the charts, and this thing was just going parabolic. Obviously, we took out a high here on the daily, right? So we took out buy side liquidity. We came off. For the week, like I said, on the weekly, we're kind of in a consolidation. The daily, obviously, looks like we're pressing higher. I do think we'll probably come down for the week. Probably, I don't know, we could gap higher, we could gap lower, just depending on where the market starts off of. But what I would like to see is actually the market come down here and then possibly shoot higher, right? So that's what I'm looking for the week. Like I said, we have the monthly fair value gap, we have the weekly fair value gap. I don't think we're done with what's going on in Russia. Like, I think more crazy things are to come, and if that happens, obviously, like I said before, dollar index, gold, they're safe havens for investors. So they see this as a place to put their money, and I think, like I said, things probably just get worse over there and we'll head higher. But that's just my prediction. I mean, honestly, we could just consolidate for the rest of the week. But if I had to pick a bias, I say we were probably going higher. But I would like to see the week, like I said, start off, drop down first, and then go up, possibly fill in this fair value gap. And also we have this liquidity void here. One thing about dollar index that I've noticed just by obviously looking at it daily and studying it, dollar loves to fill in these gaps, as you can see here. Like, it loves to fill in these gaps, what we call pretty much voids in the market. It loves to fill these first before making any type of move. So I can literally see this probably dropping down Sunday, Monday, getting everybody, because you got to understand, like, people saw this as resistance. And I know we don't trade the dollar, but like, it makes sense because we look at things that are inversely correlated, like fiber and cable, which is EU and GU. And they see this as, oh, this is huge resistance up here, right? So everyone just like getting on board. Once this hit and they saw it coming off, like, everyone on other currencies were, obviously we would sell here, but on other currencies you would see that we would buy, right? But like I said, Dixie loves to fill in these like voids here and then like head higher. Pretty much what it did here. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. I'm expecting it to drop, and to me that would just give this sentiment that, like, to investors or retail traders, that like whatever's going on with Ukraine and Russia, that it's probably just, it's temporary, it's not anything long term. So they're like, okay, everything's kind of like settling down. United Nations probably won't get involved, US won't get involved, and I definitely see everybody getting involved at one point. I honestly think China is in the background just waiting for its moment to pop off on Taiwan, and I think a lot of people see that as well. But if it goes lower, obviously that's what we want. We want price to come down, because if we look here, right, so this is kind of just like, it's kind of hard to tell on this one. Let me go to a 4 hour real quick. Alright, cool. So just go to a 4 hour. And bear with me, I know I'm probably like not doing the best to explain everything right now. It's my first time recording a video of myself, so, but the move started here, okay? So if we look, we are below 50%, and if we look, that gap, or that void, right, on the daily, so this one that I pointed out, is right near that 79% retracement level on the fib, which is obviously, this is our OTE here. So this is a prime area for us to go long, if our bias was to go long, which is kind of where I'm at. So I literally would like to see price drop down, fill this in, and then take off. It's kind of where I'm at with that. So my bias for the week, obviously bullish. We do have relative equal highs right here. So if you look, and if you know by studying ICT, content, relative equal highs really don't stay in the market too long. So people see this probably on other time frames, as tweezer tops, or they like to call them railroads, or just like one pass up, one pass down. This was, if you were in this was kind of a nice short to get into. For obviously we took out buy side liquidity, and then we had this order block here, right? So the order blocks, I like to color them in red. There's a few colors I like to use just to like clarify what PD array I'm looking at, but this is actually pretty nice. So we had a void here. Like I said, Dixie likes to fill voids, and this is on the 4 hour too. So Dixie likes to fill voids before it kind of like makes a move down, right? So this has been kind of like a perfect example. Like this was Friday's trading, yeah, and this was London session too, so that would have been a nice sell-off. Like I said, we're kind of heavy. It looks like we're kind of heavy right here on the 4 hours, so I like to see it come down more and potentially take off. I'm not going to go into any more time frames lower. I'm kind of, like I said, I just want to keep this basic and simple. Like I really want these videos to probably be like less than 5 minutes. I just want to give you my weekly bias on Sundays, have it posted before the market opens, and during the week upload videos of trades I've taken or things I saw in the market, kind of just to help educate a little bit more. I know I'm a charter member for ICT. I joined in 2021, the last group. I've learned a lot from him, and I know sometimes looking at other people's charts and kind of getting a different perspective, or kind of like pretty much the same perspective that you learned from ICT, but just somebody else reiterating it, kind of gives you that confidence that like, okay, like he's teaching this and other people are seeing it and I'm seeing it, so it's kind of like that second guessing kind of game. Like I see it, but can I trust it? And when you see other people doing what you're learning and then what they learned from ICT, it kind of gives you a little bit more confidence. Like, okay, like I'm not the only one. Like I'm kind of like I'm not crazy, for like believing in ICT kind of video. Which I totally investing in ICT was pretty much like the best thing I ever did for my trading. Get rid of this. But like I said, I don't want to go too far, but the one thing I did want to show, like I said in the beginning of the video, is I had, and I think we can do this from the daily. Yes. So here, right here, So this happened when? The beginning of February. So this is what, almost the end. So almost about 20 days ago. When this move happened, and then I saw this and this being like filled in and this fair value gap being respected, I knew that we would reach possibly for these highs. Like, I was pretty confident in it. And if you've been listening to ICT, you would probably understand why, but I'm going to show you. So if we look here, we have a low here, right? And this is off the daily chart. So I really, when I look at what I'm gonna tell you, and it happens on a higher time frame chart, like, it really speaks volume about where price is going. Okay, and what I'm talking about is this is SMT. Okay, and if you don't know what SMT is, we refer to it as smart money technique or smart money tool. But we had a low here and we had a higher low here. Okay, so like I said, this is kind of like our barometer. Like, whatever Dixie's doing, we're doing the opposite in foreign currency. So we're doing the opposite in euro, we're doing the opposite in GU. So if you look here, and you only need one pair, like you either need GU or you need EU to have a cracking correlation with Dixie to kind of get that underlying narrative of like where the market's going. Okay, and if you look here, so this was what? This candle was the 14th of January, and this candle right here, I'm just picking the lowest candles. This candle was the 4th of February. So remember, 14th January, 4th of February. So now let's go to EU, because EU was the better one. Where's my symbols? There we go. Because GU has been a huge consolidation. So if we look here, we go to EU. Okay. And same thing. So the 14th of January, bam, right here. So this was the 14th of January, right? And then we have the 4th of February. Bam, right here. And we kind of got an extra confirmation with the 10th of February. So we'll go back at Dixie and look at that right here. So if you look, this is a swing high. This is a swing high. And this is a swing high. Okay? So as you can see, let me take these off real quick so it'll be a little bit more clear. If you look, let me change this to black real quick and zoom in and line this up. Kind of a little ADD perfection going on here. Alright, so we breached this high on the 14th of January, on the 4th of February. So when we were making, and it's just a little tiny piece. So I mean, if that kind of like, if you don't really believe in that, this move right here would have definitely solidified what I'm talking about. But for me, this was good enough, right? This is all I needed. But here, on the 4th of February, this high breached this high. So this was a higher high, and obviously we have a higher high here. So if we go back to Dixie, we made a higher high. On Dixie, we failed to make a lower low. So when Euro and GU are making higher highs, Dixie should be making lower lows. But it failed. So what does this tell us? This cracking correlation tells us that institutions, that large institutions, banks, are stepping in and they are buying up the dollar. They're buying it up. And if you look here, so this is the 10th of February, this low was even higher than this one. And if you look back to Euro, we had this high take out this high, and we had this high take out both these highs, right? And it makes sense too to me, because if you look, we were in a huge consolidation, right? Price broke out, took buy side liquidity, and sold off. So this is what I was looking at when this happened that week, right? So that's how I was confident in saying that something was definitely happening in the markets, and Russia invading Ukraine was almost inevitable, right? Because of the story that DXY and Euro were telling me and this cracking correlation. So just to review a little bit, my bias for the week, if we go out here, we just delete these. Is look at the chart. I'm still bullish, so I want price to come down and then come up and possibly take out this high, and then if you look here, fill this fair value gap. Okay, because we have the rest of this fair value gap to fill. We hit consequent encroachment of that fair value up here. We have the rest of this to fill, and also we have a fair value gap here. So if we get above this high, right? If we get above this high, then we're going to be reaching for here, this fair value gap. And honestly, look at what we have here too as well. Relative equal highs. So this could be something long term. Or, I mean, World War III could pop off and we could be above here in like a day or two, to be honest with you. I don't think it'll probably happen that fast, but you never know. We're in very volatile times. But like I said, I want to see price dip down, and it might not even dip down. Price would just probably open up and just run. I mean, we always watch Sunday, and typically we don't trade Mondays, or I don't trade Mondays. And we kind of just let the market do what it does to give us a little bit more information, and then once we have that, then we can make a move. And even if, let's just say, even if my bias is wrong, okay? Even if my bias is wrong, I can still make money, right? You can still make money in the markets even though you're wrong. If you know how to manage risk and you know how to see or anticipate that price isn't giving you what you're looking for in order for your trade to play out. So if I didn't see something in here to tell me that price was going to continue to take out this high and go higher, and I was long, I'd probably cut my trade. Okay? And that's probably for future videos. We'll talk more about that. Like I said, I'm getting more in tune with YouTube. It's my first time doing a video. It's probably long as shit too. So I apologize. I really didn't write down what I was going to say. Kind of just got taken away with the charts. But like I said, this is kind of what I'm looking at. So going forward here, I really just want to make short videos before the market opens, have them uploaded before the market opens so everyone can look at them. And like I said, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It doesn't mean I can't make money going in this direction. But I definitely look at Sunday's opening and potentially Monday, and either I need to adjust my analysis or adjust my bias according to that, or if I really don't know and this just consolidates, then I'll just be sitting on my hands for the entire week, unless I see possibly a setup on the lower time frames and kind of just take a scalp. But we'll see what we get. I'm not really going to go over GU. GU is just, it's ugly right now. It's been consolidating for such a long time. I usually do favor trading GU because the moves are a lot nicer when it does move, and obviously you can capture a lot of pips with this one. But to me, it's more about the risk to reward. So if I can capture 10 to 15 pips in either one of these pairs and my stop's less than 5 pips, I mean, that's a 1 to 3 trade right there. So, but yeah, I'm not focusing too much on this one. It does look like it's in a market maker sell model, which is pretty nice. If I had to choose, obviously I'll be looking for price to come down here. We have relative equal lows. We have this low, and that's kind of why I don't really like trading EU right now, because EU's been very like opposite of like Euro and Dixie, right? So, but if I saw anything in here, then I'd be looking for, like I said, I'd be looking down here for a trade. If I took a trade from here down here, see, it looks like this wants to sell off, but you kind of just never know. We have this fair value gap here. It's on the daily time frame here, so it could be reaching for here, fair value gap. And like I said, if you're part of ICT's 2022 mentorship on YouTube, a fair value gap coupled with an order block is high probability. So you could be looking for that to be reached too, right? But it kind of just depends on what we get. Like I said, for the week, just my take, my bias, my perspective on the market right now. But like I said, I'm really not paying attention too much to GU. It's more EU. So, like I said, we did take out this low. It just looks heavy to me. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't know what I'm saying. It takes a long time to pretty much. I mean, you have to look at charts, but like I said, we're in a sell model here. So if I had my eyes anywhere, let's see. Look at this fair value gap here. We haven't even come into this fair value gap yet. I can say this is probably like the draw on liquidity here. So probably definitely see this coming down and coming into this fair value gap here, and potentially taking out these lows here. That's kind of my eyes. So like I said, I'm bullish dollar, and shit, gotta get used to that one. It's a new little thing I added to my chart. But like I said, bearish foreign currency, definitely bearish euro. I definitely see this coming down here, and taking this out. But I'll go ahead and end the video here. I'm gonna edit it a little bit, probably take a little bit of the rambling out. If not, I'll just upload it. It'll be a long video, but like I said, going forward from here, it's just gonna be real quick. I'll have my charts already probably like marked up, so I have to go through it and just think about it. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like I said, there'll be more content coming. It's what I want to do on a pre-market basis, and then during the week show you some trades or whatnot that I got into. Alright.